Hey guys, welcome back to Inside Boxing Brain. It's me, Harry, and yes, we are back for another video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and drop me a comment as well if you're interested in the subject today. So, today's video is in anticipation of Conor Benn's formal announcement and explanation as to why he has failed a drugs test. Now, I think it's been quite strange for boxing fans over the last month because ever since the news broke, it's gone completely quiet and we haven't heard anything from the Benn camp formally in relation to or regards to the failed drugs test. The information that we are getting at the moment seems to be coming from the media. So whoever's advising Conor Benn to only speak to certain media outlets and drip feed information, I think does not have his best interests at heart, because it's an absolute shitstorm. The fans have really all rallied together and they are trying to cancel Conor Benn. The general consensus is that he's a cheat and he needs to be punished and banned accordingly. The fact that we haven't heard anything from the camp officially in regards to why they failed makes me feel that there is something fishy going on and they are trying their hardest to find a get out clause or an exit strategy to try and justify A, why it's taken them so long to come back with any forthcoming information, and B, why they haven't tried to test the B sample, which nobody's even spoke about ever since Eddie originally came out to say, oh well, it could be contamination, we're going to test the B sample, so on and so forth. But in a strange turn of events, very strange turn of events, in the last week to 10 days, the news has broken that Conor Benn didn't only fail one drugs test, Conor Benn has failed 2 drugs tests. And this, in combination with him terminating his British Boxing Board of Control licence or not renewing it when it expired, makes you think that the camp or the team that Conor Benn has employed to advise him in terms of what processes to follow are not adhering to best practice. He, as a fighter, seemed to do a complete U-turn over the last 3 years. You know, initially he was a very vulnerable fighter, and then for whatever weird reason he became a very dangerous fighter and a knockout artist. Now many people put that down to drug abuse, but there was a large demographic, or a proportion of the demographic, that felt that it was because of his bloodline. The son of Nigel Benn, legendary fighter, legendary DNA, fighting spirit, the boy has grown into a man. Many people fell into the spiral of wanting to be a Conor Benn fan, and they actually supported him to be Chris Eubank Jr. throughout the build-up of their fight. Which is why I feel that he's doing the fans and the British public a disservice by not coming out and proactively telling the community what has happened and why it's happened. He's very quick to jump online and drop sarcastic comments on his story about the disrespect better be, or the respect after the fact, apology after the fact better be as loud as the disrespect. But let's be honest, what do you expect to happen? You failed a drugs test. You're guilty until proven innocent. You failed 2 drugs tests. Your team didn't cancel the fight in anticipation of that fails a drug test or the second drug test, and it took the British Boxing Board of Control to make a decision for your promoters to decide that it wasn't within your best interest or Eubank's best interest to continue with the fight. So it seems like hypocrisy to me for them to suggest that us as fans need to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it's innocent until proven guilty. You failed a drugs test. Surely that is the guilt. You pay, apparently VADA charge up to £20,000 per camp to test their fighters. So let's be reasonable. Yeah, if you think about £20,000 to pay for one single thing, you'd think, oh, what is it? It must be very expensive. But if it's proportionate to the purse of the fight and the income of the fighter, that is minuscule. It's not even a percent of the overall fight purse. So boxing is in a very bad place, isn't it? The fact that we're even having these types of conversations and videos are being made, rather than creating videos about the great fights that are being made and how exciting the sport is and how interesting these fights are and how incredible these athletes are, we find ourselves continuously talking about what is wrong with the sport. Now, it leads me to believe that corruption is systemic, and it's inherently designed into boxing because what sells? Controversy sells. Which is a shame, because for as long as I can remember, my favourite sport has been boxing. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting frustrated with the promoters, I'm getting frustrated with the broadcasters, I'm getting frustrated with the fighters, I'm getting frustrated with the politics. We're not getting the fights that we want. Prime example of that is Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora. There's a video that's going viral at the moment with True Geordie where he calls out Tyson Fury and says, excuse me, but this fight is shit, basically. Why are you fighting him? And, you know, Tyson completely flips the switch and goes off on one and says, you know, do one, I'm never interviewing you, you're never interviewing me again, and I won't speak to you, you're a dosser, you're this, you're that. And it just makes you think that, yeah, boxing is a business, first and foremost, for the fighters that are involved in it. But good boxing should equal good business, and good business should equal good boxing. And at the moment, I feel like the only thing that they really care about is how to maximise profits. So we are always hyping up fights, speculating on these great fights, but then they don't happen until they've milked that cow so much that they've got as much money out of the situation as possible, but the fighters are usually over the hill by that point. Another prime example would be Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, or Amir Khan and Kell Brook. So boxing is most definitely one of the most difficult sports to follow and report on, because there's no actual rankings or leadership tables or leaderboards that mean anything. Even the governing bodies, their rankings, they get chopped and changed all the time depending on who wants a mandatory or what makes most financial sense for the promoters. Don't forget that these commissioning bodies, so WBC, WBA, WBO, the IBF, they all get paid by the fighters for holding their belts and holding their rankings. So it's in their best interests to rank fighters who have the biggest commercial interest. And that is what's wrong with the sport. So it's a very difficult time. Conor Benn is backed himself into a corner now. Me and I think many other fans are not interested in him even trying to prove his interest anymore. There's a great YouTube channel that I want you to go check out. I think it's called Behind the Gloves with Curtis Woodhouse. And Curtis Woodhouse is a ex-British champion. I think he may be European champion, but I know for sure that he is ex-British champion. And he's created a YouTube channel where he speaks about boxing, but from a perspective of being a boxer. He's no longer actively campaigning within the division, but he's got the most relevant and up-to-date insights in terms of what makes boxers tick, why things are happening the way they are happening, and whether or not Conor Benn is guilty or innocent. So go check him out. Brilliant YouTube channel. I don't believe Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn is definitely conspired with his team or conspired with a medical professional to give him the edge, to cheat. Just his body transformation alone makes you think, what the hell have you been eating? To put on so much muscle, to put on so much size, to get the speed that he's got, it's just crazy, crazy, and it throws a shadow of doubt over his victories that he's had in the past. Were they sincere, legitimate victories, or were they fabricated, drug-fueled, cheating victories? Which, you know, I pause when I say it because it's a shame, because it's Conor Benn, it's British boxing. He was on the cusp of taking it globally within the welterweight division. Why did they go for this fight? Did they know that Conor Benn had failed the test already and it was a matter of time before they were going to get banned? So they wanted to cash out. It was reported that £2 million was the purse for this fight. Each £2 million. It's up to £4 million purse. Which is a hell of a lot of money, given the fact that most people can barely afford to keep the lights on and pay the bills, given the state of the British economy at the moment. But yeah, it leaves a real bitter taste in your mouth when you look at situations like this, and you think that they're almost above the law because of who they are. Conor Benn, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Sports, and the whole Conor Benn camp need to be held accountable. I think it's disgusting. I think it's a waste of our time. I think it's a waste of our money. And worst of all, it's a waste, and it destroys the trust that we as fans have within the sport towards those people who are managing the game. So drop me your comments below, guys, if you agree or disagree with anything that I've mentioned in today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. We are going to be doing a boxing giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, but we're going to give away up to £300 worth of boxing equipment. To enter the competition, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment in one of my videos, and I'm going to go through and pick the best comment, or the comment that I liked the most, or that was the most interesting, to send you some boxing gifts and goodies, just to say thank you for supporting the channel. So just to round up and recap, what do you think Conor Benn's excuse is going to be? We haven't heard from him in a month, apart from his ad hoc little statements here and there. So what is the excuse going to be? And is it going to be an excuse or an admission of guilt? What do you think's going to happen? I'm looking forward to doing another video, guys. I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to jump on and do these daily videos and daily catch-ups, but we're trying, we're building the channel, we're building an audience. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed and who has left me a comment and engaged with me and asked me questions and left me their feedback. It's the only way that I can find out new things, and a couple of the videos that you've suggested to me have really helped, especially this Behind the Gloves with Curtis Woodhouse. Definitely check that page out. It's brilliant. Some of his videos are just, they're going viral already, and he's such a small channel. But it just goes to show that what he talks about is really interesting. So anyway, it's a short video from me, guys. I'll be back very soon for another video. It's Harry from Inside Boxing Brain. Boom.